Dungeons and Dragons and other TTRPGs like it can actually be good for your health. Stay with me. The U.S. Surgeon General declared that we are in the midst of an epidemic of loneliness and isolation. This lack of connection affects around half of adults and can lead to anxiety and depression. It can even, quote, increase the risk for premature death to levels comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's wild. So what do we do about it in a world where economic and technological and social pressures are going to continue to isolate us all further? Well, I'm not saying D&D is the only way to form social connections, but getting together with friends every week to collaborate creatively and have a lot of fun doing it, it's pretty hard to beat. The key to that consistency is scheduling. And we all know that scheduling can be the bane of D&D games, but if you say you are running a game every Tuesday night at 7, in a matter of weeks, you will have a dedicated player base. If you build it, they will come. Now here's a more advanced Dungeon Master tip that took me a while to learn. The 3 or 4 or 5 friends you are closest to right now might not be the best fit for your D&D game. They could be, in which case, great, awesome. But they might prefer hanging out with you in other contexts and not really show up to game night consistently the way that you would hope, leading to frustration and maybe even some forms of resentment. There is a much higher chance of running a successful campaign if you cast a wide net and see who is actually interested in playing D&D. We did a whole series on getting a game off the ground, but don't be afraid to extend the invitation out to acquaintances, coworkers, even strangers. You will be more likely to find people who prioritize game night, whether they understand it's good for their physical and mental health or not. Plus, you will be forming new social connections, new friendships that can grow beyond, those few hours rolling dice at the table and further inoculate you against the growing epidemic of isolation and loneliness. Now, I know this all might sound a little hypothetical, even a little bullshitty to some of you, especially if you are already feeling a bit isolated and lonely out there. So let me assure you, I am speaking from experience here. I moved to a new city and then another new city twice in the midst of the other pandemic when quarantine made it very difficult not to feel lonely and isolated out of the gate. So when we could start, getting together again, I posted in a local looking for group page online, and some of the people who responded are now my very good friends. We've changed systems, we've changed scenarios, campaigns a few times. People have come and gone a bit, but Tuesday night game night is still going strong. Now, I'd be lying if I didn't feel a little nervous connecting with strangers at first, especially in that strange moment of history when, all of our social skills had atrophied from disuse. So to make me feel a little more comfortable and to increase our chances of success, I ran the game at my friendly, local, neighborhood game shop. Are you familiar with the concept of the third place? It's from sociology. You've got your home, you've got your work, though for most of us, or for more and more of us, home and work are becoming actually the same place, at least a lot of the time. But people also really need a third place, a sort of neutral ground where everyone is welcome and on an equal footing and can come and go as they please. And getting together to have a good time is the whole point. I was lucky enough to spend some time in Ireland recently, and we visited our fair share of pubs, short for public houses. I got a lot of inspiration for taverns in my games and a couple pints, and even in the little villages with more sheep than people, you can find a place where people come together to meet up over a pint, maybe a meal, and just hang out. And more often than not, you'll find wonderful traditional live music being played there. Incredible place. You should absolutely visit it if you get the chance. It's a country of bards and druids, which is kind of the best case scenario if you're looking for a vacation spot, right? At least for me. Anyway, a pub or bar or tavern is a great example of a third place, but a coffee shop, cafe, bookstore, also great examples, as are like parks and libraries if you're worried about your budget. Plus, a lot of places have community centers, and it's right in the name. But your friendly, local neighborhood game shop is a wonderful place to visit and support. I can visit mine on a slow afternoon and chat with the owner, Phil, and or anyone else who's around. It's a great place to learn about new and old games, but the conversations range to all sorts of topics. And every Tuesday night, I'm down there playing D&D with my friends for 4 hours. Okay, usually we'll BS up front and at the end, so it's probably closer to 2.5 hours of actual game time. The point is, it's become a highlight of my week, and really it's the cornerstone of my social life. So if you are lucky enough to be in range of an FLGS, then please do not take it for granted. I had a commenter recently complaining that their game shop had upped and started charging $10 a night for table fees. And I get it. I'm not going to, shame anybody for being frugal or on a tight budget, but in this day and age, where else are you going to get a night out for $10? The movie ticket will run you almost twice as much. And unless we're talking like drive-through, that's way cheaper than going out to dinner. That's one person. I, for one, I can't spend 3 or 4 hours like at a pub or a bar and get away only spending $10. I've made a couple videos on how to play Dungeons & Dragons and Pathfinder absolutely for free, and those are packed full of $0 resources, and I encourage you to check those out. But do not underestimate the value of having that third place and the importance of investing a little time and money to make sure it stays around for all of us to enjoy. Now, I understand that there are people out there watching this that for one reason or another don't have access to a third place to enjoy game night. So I will say here that connecting with friends and family online to play some D&D can be just as good. In many ways, we are more interconnected now than ever before, but the digital age is a huge driver of the epidemic of isolation and loneliness. We're all well aware by now that social media is not the same as socializing. In some ways, it's the opposite. It's definitely made a lot of folks more anti-social. And when all your interactions are through a screen and aren't quite interactions so much as like reactions to carefully curated presentations of full authenticity, then yeah, it makes sense that a lot of us are feeling disconnected. But playing D&D online is a great way to keep in touch with old friends or form connections with new ones. On my Thursday night game, I've got 3 players in 3 states, and I know we definitely would not have stayed as well in touch as we do if we weren't getting together to play every week. And while I still prefer in-person play and have a deep distrust of digital dice, I love my online game and highly recommend it if virtual is your only option. There's a myriad of ways to do it. I'm not going to get into all of them here because that's a whole series of videos, but I will say, personally, I like Discord and Owlbear Rodeo because I like simpler interface to prevent things from getting a little too like video gamey, and I get it. People like video games. Hell, I like video games, and I've had some great times on Roll20 and Fantasy Grounds and Foundry, and it looks like the next generation of VTTs are going to be even more powerful and sophisticated, but I personally prefer the more minimalist lo-fi approach, and I'd be running Theater of the Mind most of the time if I could get away with it. Oh, we also use D&D Beyond, of course. I've often thought about making a video about helping people set up Avre, which is a bot that connects character sheets on D&D Beyond to your Discord server, but honestly, I still feel a little unqualified to make that video, even after installing it on 3, 4 of my servers. It's a little fiddly to set up, but once you've got everything connected, it's pretty good. It is on the Verdigris Table Discord if you want to mess around with it, or come chat, ask questions, and interact with a growing community of cool people. Because being part of a community can actually help you live a longer, happier life. And in my experience, TTRPGs are a great way to belong to something. Thank you so much for spending time at the Verdigris Table, where our awesome patrons keep the lights on and the hits coming. If you're looking to find people to play with online or in person, check out this video. Up next, we're going to dive a little deeper into the benefits of playing games like D&D. I'm looking forward to it. I hope to see you there. Until then, be kind and have fun.